Imagine a world where shadows cast not just darkness, but revelations of truth. Today, we dive deep into Revelation 18, a chapter that paints a vivid image of destruction and divine justice. Picture a mighty angel descending from heaven, his presence so commanding that the earth lights up with his glory. He proclaims the fall of Babylon, not just as a historical city, but as a symbol of human rebellion against God. Babylon, the ancient empire, notorious for its decadence and idolatry, is mentioned over 250 times in the Bible, second only to Jerusalem. It represents more than a city. It embodies the collective apostasy and moral decay of civilizations turning away from divine paths. In Revelation 18, the angel declares with a resonant voice, "Fallen, fallen is Babylon the Great. This city has become a lair for demons, a hideout for every foul spirit and detestable bird." Why focus on Babylon? This city's story begins with Nimrod, a mighty warrior and hunter whose ambition led him to establish the first kingdom on earth. Genesis 10 describes him as a man of power, building cities like Babylon and defying God. Babylon's spirit, characterized by rebellion and tyranny, foreshadows the moral and spiritual battles of the last days. Revelation 18 vividly describes the consequences of Babylon's sins. The city, intoxicated with the wine of its wealth and excess, misleads and corrupts nations. Its fall is dramatic and complete, serving as a stern warning of what awaits societies that indulge in similar decadences. Let us reflect on our world today. Societal norms have shifted dramatically. What was once deemed sinful is now celebrated. This cultural shift mirrors the transformation of Babylon. Are we, as a modern society, trekking down the same path of moral decay and spiritual abandonment? Consider the leaders throughout history who epitomized Babylon's arrogance. King Nebuchadnezzar, the Babylonian ruler, demanded absolute allegiance to his image, setting up a golden statue and decreeing worship upon the sound of music. His reign is a stark reminder of the perils of pride and idolatry. Yet, in the midst of such tyranny, there were those like Daniel and his companions who stood firm in their faith. They refused to bow to Nebuchadnezzar's statue, choosing fiery furnaces and lions' dens over compromising their allegiance to God. Their stories are testaments to God's deliverance and power, offering hope and guidance for those who resist the seductions of a modern-day Babylon. In today's society, we face similar challenges. Our idols might not be statues, but they are no less demanding. Wealth, fame, and personal achievements often take precedence over spiritual commitments. Like ancient Babylon, we are ensnared by materialism and self-indulgence, losing sight of spiritual integrity and divine purpose. As we navigate these turbulent times, Revelation 18 serves as a crucial reminder. All earthly empires, no matter how mighty, will eventually fall. This prophecy is not merely historical. It is a living, breathing call to recognize the signs of the times. It urges us to examine our lives, question our priorities, and realign ourselves with God's will. The Apostle Paul, in 1 Timothy chapter 4, warns of a time when people will turn away from faith, seduced by deceitful spirits and teachings of demons. This prophetic insight resonates with the spiritual decline depicted in Revelation 18. As believers, we must be vigilant, guarding our hearts and minds against the subtleties of spiritual deception. In Revelation 18, verse 21, a mighty angel picks up a boulder the size of a large millstone and throws it into the sea, declaring that Babylon will be thrown down with such violence and never be found again. This act symbolizes the total and irrevocable destruction of Babylon. The imagery of a millstone being hurled into the sea conveys the idea of a swift and decisive end. This is a powerful reminder of the finality of God's judgment against all forms of evil and rebellion. This vision of Babylon's destruction is not just about a city, but about the eradication of everything that stands in opposition to God's kingdom. It serves as a sobering reminder that no matter how powerful or influential a system or a nation may be, it cannot withstand the judgment of God. This is a call for us to remain steadfast in our faith and to avoid becoming entangled in the world's corrupt systems. The symbolism of Babylon. Historically, Babylon was a city of immense wealth and influence, known for its impressive architecture, including the Hanging Gardens, one of the seven wonders of the ancient world. However, its grandeur was built on a foundation of oppression, idolatry, and defiance against God. The city is often depicted as a place of excess and moral decay, where the pursuit of pleasure and power overshadowed righteousness and justice. Babylon's fall, as described in Revelation 18, is portrayed as inevitable and complete. The merchants of the earth mourn over her because no one buys their cargoes anymore. This lament highlights how deeply interconnected Babylon's economy was with the global trade of luxury goods. The list of items in Revelation 18 verses 12 to 13, including gold, silver, precious stones, and even human lives, underscores the city's exploitation and moral bankruptcy. Babylon symbolizes any system or culture that prioritizes material wealth, power, and self-indulgence over spiritual values and obedience to God. The prophetic message of Revelation 18 calls for a separation from such systems. Come out of her, my people, so that you will not share in her sins, so that you will not receive any of her plagues. This is a divine call to live distinctively, to reject the moral compromises and spiritual deceptions that characterize Babylon. As we contemplate the implications of Babylon's fall, it is essential to recognize the relevance of this message to our contemporary world. Modern society, with its emphasis on consumerism, instant gratification, and secularism, mirrors many of the traits of ancient Babylon. The relentless pursuit of wealth and status often leads to moral compromise and spiritual emptiness. In the midst of this, the message of Revelation 18 challenges us to evaluate our own lives, to seek alignment with God's will, and to prioritize eternal values over temporal gains. Let us not be disheartened by the shadows of Babylon that loom over our society. Instead, let us be inspired by the promise of God's eternal kingdom. As Revelation chapter 21 beautifully illustrates, the New Jerusalem awaits us, a city without pain, sorrow, or shadows, a perfect bride adorned for her husband, Jesus Christ. In these challenging times, may we hold fast to our faith, standing as beacons of light in a world that mirrors Babylon. Let us embrace the truth of Revelation 18, committing to live not for the transient allure of this world, but for the everlasting kingdom of God. Remember, amidst the chaos and corruption, God still reigns supreme. His justice will prevail, and His kingdom will come. As we forge ahead, let our lives reflect this glorious hope and divine assurance. Join me in looking beyond the horizon, where the true city of God beckons us home. As believers, we are called to be vigilant and discerning, recognizing the signs of the times and staying true to our faith. Revelation 18 serves as a wake-up call, urging us to examine our hearts and minds, to resist the lure of worldly temptations, and to live in a manner worthy of our calling. The fall of Babylon is not just a future event, but a present reality for those who choose to follow Christ and reject the ways of the world. Revelation 18 is a powerful chapter that reveals the ultimate fate of all that stands in opposition to God. It is a message of hope and assurance for believers, reminding us that God's justice will prevail and His kingdom will come. As we navigate the challenges of our time, Let us hold fast to our faith, live with integrity, and look forward to the glorious future that awaits us in the New Jerusalem.